Let me tell you a story about two boys, Kato and Lule. They grew up in a small village of about 500 people, full of sugarcane plantations. Both their parents were peasants, growing their own food and sometimes working the sugarcane plantation to support their family. For Kato, his mother was educated and a midwife. And for Lule, his mother was illiterate and a housewife. And for Kato, though poor to afford any books, he grew up hearing his mother read the Bible every evening over a kerosene lamp. Every evening after dinner, all the kids would gather around and hear their mother read and tell Bible stories. And that had an impact on him, as he started to imagine how it would be like to read this Bible and this book for himself. And soon enough, he started to read for himself. And that helped him to stay in school. And later on, that reading has helped him to get a scholarship to go to university in Uganda and in the UK. And a few years ago, he got married and lives in Kampala with his wife and two beautiful children. Lule, on the other side, dropped out of school in grade 4 because he could not read and comprehend. He went to make some quick money and work in the sugarcane plantation, cutting sugarcane to make about $1 a day for a full day's work. Soon enough, he got a girl pregnant and they were forced to get married because both their parents could not afford to take care of the newborn baby. By the time he was 25, Lule had several children from many girls who were now his wives. And the job at the plantation was being passed on to young, more energetic people. And that meant that he was getting overwhelmed with his responsibility and was getting frustrated. So he resorted to drinking and became a drunkard. And his children are most likely going to follow his footsteps. Now, a story of Kato is my story. And the story of Lule is a story of my friend and my neighbor in my village. When I was growing up, it didn't really occur to me that many of my peers like Lule were dropping out of school. But it was later when I had finished university, I went back to my village and I was told that Lule's young brother, who I had seen growing up, had dropped out of school and gotten married. That it really hit me. And I started to wonder what exactly was going on. I started to notice that there was a huge problem with our education system, and I wanted to make a difference. So then, I thought maybe we should do something. Because in Uganda right now, nothing has really changed since the days I went to school. 70% of children in primary school cannot read and comprehend. And therefore, a proportionate number is dropping out of school. Now, in a country that has 52% of its population as children below the age of 15, that is disaster. It means in 10 years, we will not be able to attract an investment. And if I started the business, I'll have nobody to hire. But crime is going to go up. So this reality motivated me to start enjuba. Enjuba means the sun in a local dialect in Uganda called Luganda. And we use enjuba because it's a symbol of hope. It's a dawn of a new day. And enjuba is a children's education organization that's focused on improving learning outcomes and helping children to learn to read so they can read to learn. And when we started with a spelling bee. Now, you all know spelling bees. A spelling bee is like the most exciting educational activity there can be. There is so much packed in it. And we've seen this happen in Uganda, having children, parents, teachers excited to be part of it. And when we started with 10 schools, and now we've gone on to cover 1,500 schools across the country. And we've seen how the spelling bees are helping to ignite the curiosity to read amongst children. And that gets them a notch higher to want to stay in school, because now school is exciting. And they have something to look up to. The teachers are more engaged because there is something more exciting to be part of. And as we continue to do the spelling bees, and it was going on everywhere, literally every day I receive a message, an email, a phone call from a school or a parent or a local government asking why we are not in their region and asking us to go and set up and start this activity there. But as we started doing this and continue to do it, we started to work with teachers and to realize that there was a challenge with our teachers. And so we developed a program that would help teachers to become better, to help children like this one, who after spelling bee went home and was like, "Mommy, how can I fail to spell the word hallelujah? I am going to read everything I can find so that next year I can spell all the words I'm asked." Or like a parent who came to me and was like, "What did you do to him? I don't know what happened to him. My child was shy and timid and would never say anything in class. But after participating in a spelling bee, he's active in class, so his teachers tell me, and at home, he has pushed away all the toys and replaced them with books. He's reading everything he finds." And we realize that the enjuba spelling bee is making books toys too. So as we started to engage with teachers, we realized that we needed to help them to become better. Now, in Uganda, you become a teacher mostly as a last resort because you either failed to get good enough grades to go to high school or didn't have the money. And then you go to a 2-year teacher training college that literally ill-prepares you to teach the nation. And so we have teachers who are in classrooms and they cannot exactly do the work of teaching the nation. They have a low self-esteem and have little grasp of what they are teaching. And they are projecting that to the learners. So we created a program that would help to teach these teachers, and we have sessions on self-awareness, just helping these teachers to realize who they are and to understand that they have dignity, that they are powerful, that they are important. And sessions on emotional intelligence, so they can be able to better prepare children for the future. But also sessions on teaching reading and literacy. When I was going to school, we were taught to read in a 3-phase instead of 5-phase way. So we're taught the alphabet, which you all know. Then we're expected to know words, which is the vocabulary. And then we're expected to comprehend those words put together in a sentence. And what we realized that we missed, and children now shouldn't miss, and the reason they're not reading is because we miss what we call phonemic awareness, sounds and phonics, making sense of the letters you see, and being able to combine those to help learners learn better. And we've seen teachers like Gusita who have taken this on seriously and become a better teacher. He was shy and had just gone through a teacher training program like everyone else, but got onto our program and got into the phonics and has become a star teacher, helping his children to become better. And now his school has recognized this and have promoted him to become a deputy principal in his school. But these 2 programs were not enough. Teachers who were going through our program were telling us now, "You're telling us to teach reading, but where are the books?" So we started to create books because the books were either non-existent or boring. So we started to create books that would help these learners to be able to love to read. And I have some of them at the pop-up shop so you can have a look. But books that have characters that children can relate to and therefore want to read. And we've seen these books be of impact to even children who can't read. So like these 2-year-old boys, Innocent and Peter, they couldn't read and they got this very book and they opened the first page and saw things that were familiar in their communities. And they kept opening the book and telling themselves, imagine the stories of what is in the book. Now those kids' lives will never be the same again because they will want to read that book and find out what is in there. And that kind of impact and seeing these books sustain interest of 2 7-year-old boys, it means it can change so many things. Now, our program, as I have shared, the spelling bees, the teacher trainings, and the children's books are interrelated. And right now, the children have to read the books to participate in the spelling bees, and teachers have to understand the books to prepare the children for the spelling bees and to help make things better. In the past 5 years, we have reached 1.5 million children working in 1,500 schools. We've trained 6,500 teachers in Uganda, and now we are working to reach 200 million children across the continent. A spelling bee has taken on across the continent, and we are working with 16 African countries to run the African spelling bee, and we hope to be able to reach these 200 million people in the next 5 years. Thank you. Now I know that for us, though I'm proud of what we have achieved, it's just the beginning. But what I'm most proud of is that Lule, my friend, and his young brother, their children now have access to our books, and they are reading. And I hope that as they read and become proficient, they'll go on to change our village and achieve their wildest dreams.